Good morning and welcome to Godcast with Wanda. Today we're studying Revelation 13 part 2. Okay? So we didn't get to all of it last week. We talked about the Antichrist. So if you haven't seen that yet, go back and watch Antichrist part 1. Now part 2, we're going to be talking about Revelation 13, and it's divided into two parts. The first one talks about the beast from the sea, and the second part talks about the beast from the earth. Now, the beast from the sea is talking about the Antichrist. The Antichrist and how he gets his power from Satan. And part 2 is the beast from the earth talks about the false prophet. They're cohorts together. So let's just open our Bibles to Revelation 13. And let's start from there. Okay, Revelation 13, verse 1. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns on its heads, and 10 crowns on its heads, and a blasphemous name. Now the beast which I saw looked like a leopard, with his feet like a bear, and his mouth like that of a lion. Now where have we heard those before? Daniel. Let's talk about that for just a minute. Now, then he stood on the sand of the sea. Now, the sea, representative of nations, a multitude of people. So we see someone rising up out of the nations of peoples. I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, had 7 heads. We saw this in Daniel 7 and 8. 7 heads and 10 horns. Now, the horns represent leaders or kings. And on his horns were 10 crowns, so they had power and authority. And on his head, a blasphemous name. Now, blasphemous names means names against God. Now, the beast which I saw was like a leopard. Now, leopard, remember, was the Greek Empire. His feet were like that of a bear. The bear was the Medo-Persians. And the mouth was like the mouth of a lion. That was Babylon. Now, it's giving you these characteristics because this beast that we're fixing to talk about, the Roman Empire, it comes out of the Roman Empire, has all of these characteristics that these 3 or 4 kingdoms had. It says, and then the dragon gave his power, his throne, and his authority to this beast. And I saw one of its heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and a deadly wound was healed. All the world marveled and followed the beast. So they worshiped the dragon who gave authority to the beast. They worshiped the beast. All right, a lot of beasts and dragons going on here. So let's explain this. The dragon. This is the last part of verse 2. The dragon is Satan. Satan gave his power, his throne, and his authority to the Antichrist. So anything Satan can do, the Antichrist can now do on earth. In human form. This is what it's saying. So we have pure evil in the form of a man, and he's acting on it. Not good. This is the second half of the tribulation. And it seems like he was killed. He had a mortal wound to the head. And then he comes back alive. Well, what did Christ do? He died on the cross. And 3 days later, he arose. So here we have the Antichrist, or Satan, trying to duplicate what Jesus Christ did for us. Well, if he died and came back, and this guy, the Antichrist, dies and comes back, and what does the world do? And all the world marveled and followed the beast. The beast is the Antichrist. So they're worshiping the beast. Verse 4 says, so they worshiped the dragon who gave authority to the Antichrist. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like the beast, who is able to make war with him? So they're thinking this man, they might even think he's the Messiah coming back. But this man has got all this power, all this authority, and they don't realize how evil it is. And they're worshiping Satan. Now, who's going to be deceived? The Bible tells us, I believe it's going to be in Matthew 24, even the elect will be deceived. Who are the elect? You and me as Christians, as believers, will be deceived. And it's so easy to deceive us. We don't have any truth in the news nowadays. We have no truth on the radio. We have no truth on social media. There's no truth out there. Where is the truth? The Bible is the truth. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. The truth. If you don't know where else to look, you look in the Bible. The Bible will tell you the truth. So now we know the dragon has given all of his power to the beast. The beast is the Antichrist. The dragon is Satan. All right, so we are in verse 5, chapter 13. And he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. Blasphemies against God. Here on earth, as a Christian, we don't say. And he was given authority to continue for 42 months. That's the same thing as 3.5 years. The last half of the tribulation, the 7-year tribulation. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, blasphemed his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. So he is cursing everybody, standing in the temple of God, blaspheming the name of God, and even the believers of God. This man is pure evil. You can't get any worse. He has the power of the devil. It's granted to him to make war with the saints and overcome them. The saints are believers in the Lord Jesus Christ, and overcome them means he is going to kill them. He's going to hunt you down. He is going to make a public killing, a public hanging, a public beheading. He's going to put fear in everyone. It can't get any worse than this. If you think you've been persecuted, you've gone through tough times, this won't even compare. Verse 7, and authority was given him over every tribe, every tongue, every nation. So this is going to be worldwide. This isn't just going to be in Israel. It's not going to be in the Middle East. This is going to be worldwide. You can't hide from it. It's going to be everywhere. Every tongue means every language, every different culture, every nation. Everybody. It's going to be worldwide. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the earth. So everyone who does not believe in Jesus Christ will worship him. Now, let's see what's happening in the world today. In the world today, we already have you heard about the World Economic Forum, the one world order, the one world government that they're trying to create? And this has been going on for 10 or 12 years now, been going on for a while. The one world order. You know, they have a mission to have control of the whole earth by year 2030. Why would Satan pick the year 2030? Your answer's in Matthew 1:17. And this takes, for those who really, really study the Bible and you want deep, deep meaning. I'm not going to have time to go through this today, but I'll do this in another lesson. But Matthew 1:17, let me read that to you. So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. From David until the captivity of Babylon are 14 generations. And from the captivity in Babylon until Christ are 14 generations. That's all it tells you. But if you figure it out and you know what that means, you know why Satan picked 2030. And I'll do a lesson on that here in a few weeks. It would take too long to explain it. But look at what's happening around you in the world today. We just have everything. A one world government, a one world money they're talking about, a one world religion they're talking about. Keep your eyes and ears open. And Israel is the litmus test. You have to watch Israel to see what's happening in Israel to understand what's going on. Let's continue on in verse 9. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. In the book of Daniel, Daniel is told to shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Now, why did God tell him to write up and seal the book until the time of the end? We are at the time of the end, and until recently, a lot of the Bible, a lot of eschatology, which means end-time studies, has not really been completely understood. Are we talking about the knowledge of Jesus Christ or just the knowledge of the Bible or the understanding of the Bible? I think it probably means a little bit of both. But right now, the theory of the rapture is only like 150 years old. Most people have never even opened the book of Revelation to study it. Most people bypass the book of Daniel because it's got too much symbolism in it and they don't understand what it means. Or they believe it was written after the fact because it is too precise and exact as to what happened in history. So, Daniel and Revelation tells the whole story. And if you understand those two, you will understand what's going to happen in the end times. And folks, we're there. We're very close to being there. One of the qualifications for the end times was that Israel had to become a nation. You know, Israel stopped being a nation when Babylon captured them, 538 BC. From 538 BC to 1948 AD, Israel was not a nation, but Revelation is talking about it. Revelation is talking about Israel being a nation again. God promises that Israel will be a nation again. Ezekiel 36:37, he talks about them being a nation again, coming together as one. I encourage you to read the Bible. We're at the beginning of a new year. Start reading the Bible every day. I'm doing the Bible in a year study. I'm doing the New Testament first and then the Old Testament. And I'm studying. I'm learning so much. You know, God doesn't reveal everything at once. You have to study a little bit, understand a little bit. I go down a lot of rabbit holes, but the more you study, the more you'll understand. Don't give up. If you don't understand, don't give up. Keep reading. God will reveal it to you. Pray that he'll reveal it to you. He will. He'll reveal it to you. He reveals more and more and more to me as I continue my study, as I continue going on, as I just give it all to him. All my trust, all my faith, as I give it all to him, and that's what you have to do. I just pray that you will share the gospel. Help me get this word out. Help me share the gospel of Jesus Christ and his love for you.